Alright, here we are, a brand new best of three, continuing with the Red Bull Battlegrounds North American Qualifiers. This is, of course, to see who goes to New York City, but the big thing is, this is only Qualifier number 2. You guys can still sign up for Qualifiers number 3 and number 4, which I believe will both be taking part this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. But without further ado, I'm Rifkin, I'm gassing today with Doom Esports. I've still got water everywhere I gotta clean up. Spawny here in the lower left corner of the map. He was a skater boy. She said, see ya later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her. It's going to be Avril Lavigne, but also known as Scarlett.
And her opponent, upper right-hand corner of the map, in the purple trunks, from the team core, this Sonic.
Sonic, of course, there's a Zotac Cup not too long ago. No, it was the Zotac Monthly Finals, I believe, 2 months ago, where we had Sonic versus Tails, and my nerd heart was all aflutter.
Wow. That's amazing. Once in a lifetime.
We had been waiting for that, because like they kept coming close in like the semifinals or the quarterfinals of like regular Zotacs and just barely missing one another, but man, Sonic is a good Terran player, there's no doubting that, but he's gone for a bit of a cheeky opener here, Doom. He's paired with some gas, so it's going to be Reapers, not like a straight up 2 racks.
There comes the first Reaper out.
Now Yansu, well, as I want to point out for those who don't know, there is that little back ledge. You can't top up 2 cliff faces, but there is a little spot here. So the downside is it makes it really predictable where the Reapers are going to come from, because you know they're not going to go all the way around through the natural, not initially at least, but Scarlett taking a very quick gas, taking a pull out at appropriate timing, should have metabolic boost out in no time, and these Reapers are going to be so limited on what they can do.
Yeah, let's see if he can pull anything off. Even getting just a 1, or even 1 drone kill would probably be somewhat of a victory here for Sonic. But doesn't look like Scarlett is ultimately prepared for this. Reaper is going to come in. Will she decide to move it over and create a... Going to drop down a Spore Crawler from it.
Quick build. Oh, but now there's Lings out, and this Reaper has to be deadly careful.
Alright, so...
Nothing dead
perhaps
yet.
Mission unaccomplished so far. Reaper, of course, can regenerate health with that combat drugs once it moves out of the field of battle. But if anything, Sonic is getting scouting information off here, seeing exactly what the opener is from Scarlett. Did see it with the SCV anyway, but going to be pressing forward here with another Reaper. And can he force them press the issue here and eventually get a drone kill? Queen will be punching those Reapers right in the face as they come through. First drone is going to fall down here, so small victory there for Sonic, and is going to get away with both Reapers intact.
This is actually kind of a big deal, because what Sonic's doing right now is a somewhat expansionless version of this expand. Typically, you get the 2 Reapers out, you follow it up with the Hellions. We've all seen that before, yada, yada, yada. But the big thing is, while that second Reaper's coming out, typically you've got that command center building. But because Sonic has this so delayed, it's kind of forcing this almost one-base reaction to this.
Here we go, those Lings are going to be pressing forward here. I do have some unfortunate news on the other side of the bracket for an update for all of our viewers. Reason why we're not casting Polt versus State in this situation, Polt has forfeited from the tournament. He cannot attend the offline qualifier, and thus he is going to give up his position to State. Went through all that trouble to get back in the tournament, but it does appear as though State will be moving forward over the Polt, getting a walkover in this situation. But that does not mean we will not have this being a an entertaining match in and of itself. Scarlett moving forward here, Rifkin gonna get once around on the Reaper.
But even with that, there's a full wall off at home that Sonic can fall back to. So it's not like he was in any immediate danger. His goal there was just to kill as many Lings as possible while minimizing his own losses. But, Scarlett's not a bad spot at all. Got the extra queens out in the field, so creep spread. If there's one person in the StarCraft universe who's kind of known for their creep spread, I would certainly say it's Scarlett. Very excited to see this get out of control sooner than later, but Queen's going to be on the front lines to shell away at those Hellions. Doesn't kill anything right now, but they do soften them up, so Sonic can't really sneak in later for more.
So with the quick layer, I'm curious to see where Scarlett's going to go with this early in the game. Okay, of course, Sonic is going to opt for that 3 command center opening here inside the main base.
Almost a necessity, I feel, because of how late his natural's going down. I mean, Scarlett's been mining up for first for God knows how long, even after going pool first, and still, Sonic doesn't even have that on the location. He's going to have to make an orbital first and then move it down, but even if he does, the 3 Hellions on the field are going to be busy, as there's going to be Lings running around.
And those Lings are actually going to get burned to death here. Not going to scout out anything useful, and in fact, just going to be roasted and toasted. Big BBQ going on at the Terran's natural expansion there. Those Marines will be eating good tonight.
That feel when it move command. But okay, there's some Hellions here that can be sizably a threat if Scarlett's out of position, but there's 6 Speedlings at home ready to try and get us around. It'll buy time for the Queens to at least get in position, but there's no way they can just sort of get into that mineral line really quick, unattended. And yep, gonna skip past, actually try and force the fight at the ramp. Interesting choice, but drones in the main are gonna have to be pulled. You gotta try and fight with a little bit of what you can. There we go, they are gonna try and retreat out of this. With the Queens coming here, yeah, she's going to have no problem cleaning up these Hellions. Last couple are going to go down. They might get a Ling with them on the way out, but desperately trying to get a drone kill. It goes into the refinery, the low health drone, and with 4 health, it survives, and almost no workers killed there. Wow, actually, never mind. 9 workers have been killed this game. I take that back entirely.
So this is always a peculiar situation for the Terran player. When you've gotten into the main base, you got a couple of workers killed, you're feeling pretty good at this point. You see the Spire though, and you're thinking in your head, man, I really gotta react to the Mutalisk. You know, it doesn't appear as though Sonic is overreacting at this point, not throwing down like a plethora of missile turrets. Of course, the engineering base haven't finished up just quite yet, but behind this, looks like this is pretty much, you know, falling into his favor, going for this bio-style push. You know, on the other side of the factory, Scarlett's probably saying to herself, yeah, it's okay. I don't care if you've seen it. I was going to go for this anyway.
It's a bit funny, too, because it's going to be Mutiling Bane versus Biomine, but the difference is, like, because of the opening that Sonic made, his upgrades are a little bit later, but Scarlett's also a little bit delayed, going for the Mutalisk before the Evolution Chambers. Nest now finishing up, so 3rd base on the field, +1 weapons for air, and even Pneumatized Carapace coming out here. Really going to try and be harassed with this. So this is going to be great because look at the building positioning of Sonic. He's trying to get some turrets up because he knows how awkwardly placed these barracks are and how susceptible they're going to be. Tech Lab, he cannot afford to lose his combat shields. He has forgone. Oh, actually, he's already got Stim back. My mistake. But even so, you don't want to lose combat shields. It's a long upgrade that you can't afford to restart.
No, and like you said before, it is an awkward position. If anything, something's going to go down here, whether it be the barracks, whether it be the tech lab, or with those depots that are overexposed. But Scarlett is going to swoop into the main base, see the missile turret there, and be deflected, and going to have to be very careful. I'm not sure if Sonic has revealed the stim, which I actually really like at this point in the game. But I also like Scarlett's preemptive overseers here that are preventing against Widow Mines from really coming into a factor in the mid stages of the game. And what she's doing too, Rifkin, is she's also preventing Sonic from taking a 3rd base while maintaining and establishing her own, getting her awesome creep spread going. If there's one constant in Scarlett's play, it's this insane creep spread that she's able to establish. And look at the space between those creep tuners. None of them are stacked up against each other. They're all maximizing the distance that they have to travel.
Well, trying to fend off and ward off these Mutalisks at the natural. There are turrets down, and in low amounts like this, Mutalisks are actually scared of turrets because SCVs will just repair them all day. But once she starts getting that more critical mass later on, it's going to be very hard to deal with low amounts of turrets. But we see her skipping Mutalisk production for the time being. This is in order to get like her Baneling speed, her +1/+1, her ground units on the field. And by rushing the Mutalisks like this pretty much, before Sonic could even think about putting drops out on the map, shuts it down because he knows the Mutalisks are roaming around. Tech Lab might go down, but Combat Shields is finished at this point, so not the biggest loss in the world. The Contaminate was pretty cute too. It's going to prevent production for a little bit.
There was a Fun Day Monday that was Contaminate just this past week. Just FYI for all you Day 9 fans out there. Man, there was someone in the Zotac Cup a few months ago who spam contaminated a Tech Lab going for Stim Pack, and it took like 9 minutes for Stim Pack to finish. It was absurd. Pretty sick, but whoa, we got a big SCV.
Oh, this is...
What the heck is going on?
This is Sonic saying, I'm going to give it my all, and he's going to get here as the Banelings complete, so... These SCVs are going to soak a lot of hits for the Marines, that much is for sure, but is it going to be enough? This is the all-in from Sonic. He has to make this work, and Scarlett walks right past the Banelings to connect to the Marines, however, or sorry, the SCVs to connect to the Marines, however, pulling the drones into the main, recognizing that there's a weird force at her doorstep. Sonic has got to make this work. There's no fallback to this. There's 14 more Banelings morphing in, but where are they?
They're in the main.
Oh, they're in the main.
This is exactly where Sonic was to go for, going for the throat. The SCVs are not on the front, though. The Marines
He's got a split.
Have to do insane splits.
He's got some good splitting, that much is for certain, but is it going to be enough? The SCVs are being completely bypassed. No attack move here for Scarlett, and the low amount of Mutalisks are going to be more than enough to clean this up. Game 1, good game to Scarlett.